Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryan Anderson from the Carmike 327, and spotted is this 1967 Chevrolet Belair Station Wagon. It is a 67. It is not the prettiest car, but we are going to go ahead and take a quick tour around it and take a look, so stay tuned.
First of all, I want to say that I proudly present this beautiful 1967 Belair Station Wagon. It is not the prettiest car in the world, but it is definitely a future car that you could definitely rebuild and make it into something cool. So, without further ado, let's have a look. This particular motor has a 327 engine in it. You have choices between the 327, 396, or the 427, which was, pretty common back in the 1960s or so. That particular body style of the Belair was made from 67 to 68. Now the body styles were similar in 66 and also in 69 and 70, but with a few modifications that were actually made. Similar to the Caprice and the Best King back in those days as well.
Just a brief walk around. We're just going to take a look at the exterior of this beautiful looking car. Obviously right here though, it is not perfect. You can see it's got some surface ruts and some paint peeling off the top of the hood. Also right here, it's got the original headlights, the original grille. It looks like everything is original. There's a little bit of rust here at the bottom where the chrome is, but I can tell you this would be a pretty cool car. This would be a fun one to definitely restore. From what I could see, this car actually runs pretty good. So hopefully I can maybe get the number and fire this thing up. The tires are looking like the tires are a little dry rotted. So I would definitely change the tires out. The exhaust is a little rusted. And then in the interior here, it's definitely going to need some restore. It's definitely going to need to be restored. Boy, the interior, yeah, it's a little rough inside. And I say this interior's a little rough. Obviously, the antenna's missing. It's got the original chrome wheels from the 1960s. Everything looks like original. It just looks like this car doesn't look like this car has been driven all that much. Paint peeling off the doors. Daytona RS wheels. Those are... Well, wait a minute. Looks like we have two different tires on here, because these are like Liberty, AT, Union Haul, and then we got Daytonas in the back. Let's see what else is around here. Daytonas in the back. And Unions in the front. You got two different kind of tires back here. Wonder if this thing opens up. Well, it does. So you got the original steering wheel, the dashboard. Obviously the dashboard is going to definitely need to be refurbished. Boy, the interior is a little rough. Oof. And then right here, this is really cool. You can actually take your hand right here. You can open this up. You can make this into a vent shade right here. We'll roll down your windows. This car does not have power windows or power locks. This is your basic car.
Now, as I'll point out, Most of these cars did not have the power window and locks back in those days. That was not as common as they were today. And here are some good examples of some other station wagons that I took at the auto show as well. You'll see that there's a Biscayne, a Caprice, and similar cars similar to what this one was. And you'll see on the very back that size matters, which I thought was hilarious. And you'll notice that the Belair and the Caprice have two similar tail lights in the back. That also defines which cars are, just similar to what the Impala was and everything. Eventually, the Caprice will take the place of the Belair. And you also have to remember, back in the 60s, power was pretty much everything. The bigger the engine, the bigger the car. That's pretty much what the style was back then. As today, you have the cars with the EPA mileage and, lesser gas mileage and fuel efficiency and those kind of things. It's amazing how times have changed since then. We've had the minivan era, then the SUV era, now back to, the minivans and the crossovers, so things have really changed. Okay, so most cars didn't have the power locks or windows like we did, and you'll have to excuse this part. We had to switch cameras. We lost some battery power on this one. So let's go ahead. Let's open this up real quick. And you can close this window right here. We can open this and close this. So just by simply putting your hand on this crank right here. And then, interesting, that's your water gauge right here. You have your fuel gauge, your speed odometer, your heat temperatures, and your cluster is all right here. Your gear shift is right here. I believe this is an automatic transmission. But again, this could be a good restored vehicle. So definitely needs to be cleaned up a little bit inside. So door shut kind of hard. So anyways, and before we take off, I know the car's in a little bit of rough shape. I mean, obviously that's gonna happen over time, over the wear and tear and that kind of thing. You can really rebuild this car and make it into something cool. In the meanwhile, I'm going to show you some pictures of some incredible station wagons that I took when I went to some of the auto shows over the fall and summer. So why don't we check those out real quick? And while we check out some of the few pictures that I'm showing on here, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and there is a lot more where that came from.